All right, we're going to do another subject and verb agreement, and this one's a little bit trickier because this is what's known as an inverted type of question, but I'll give you a chance to do it first. So look at it, pause the video if you have to. Okay. It says, in the Atlantic Ocean off the eastern coast of Florida lies the islands of Bahamas, which have been frequented and documented by daring explorers. Okay, so remember what you have to do. Always find the subject and the verb. I mean, you can find subject and verbs even if they're part of they're not operative subject and verbs, because SATs can give you questions where they have maybe a dependent clause with subject and verb that don't agree, right? So in this case, in the Atlantic Ocean is just a prepositional phrase introducing the sentence. Off the coast of Florida, this is simply describing this ocean over here, and Florida is the coast over here. So lies is the verb, right? And what you should notice, and the reason why this is called the inverted question, is the verb comes first. And it's because of this phrase over here, right? And the subject is actually islands, and islands is plural. This can be really so easily just overlooked, and many kids, what they do is pick no error, right? But it says, in the Atlantic Ocean off the eastern coast of Florida lies the islands, and islands is plural subject, so this should actually be what? Lie. Okay, lie the islands of Bahamas, which have been frequented and documented by this. There's nothing wrong with this by. Okay, many people want to use maybe that as a idiom error if you think, oh, that idiom's wrong, but no, there's nothing wrong with that. So this is an inverted question. All right, let's do another one. This one says, although there seems to be countless ways to approach the physics quandary, only one technique will bring about the needed outcome. So pause for a second and do the question. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. You have to first find the subject and verb, and try to find the one that's operative if you want. Right? It says, although there seems to be countless ways to approach the physics quandary. This is actually what's known as a dependent clause. So watch a lecture on dependent clauses, or just clauses in general if you're confused when I allude to them. Okay, so only one technique. You don't need this word only. It's simply modifying what, right? One technique will bring about the needed outcome. Right? So only one technique will bring about the needed outcome. And there's nothing wrong with this. A lot of kids actually pick this as the answer, right? Will bring about. No, bring about is actually a correct expression. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And one technique will do something. There's nothing wrong with that either, right? But there is an error in this question, right? And the error is actually here in the dependent clause. Okay? So what is the subject and verb of the dependent clause over here? Well, ways is plural. It says countless ways, so many, many ways. But what about the verb? The verb, again, in this inverted question, well, inverted in a sense that the dependent clause is inverted, is actually what? Verb is over here, but it's plural, right? Or is it singular, right? There seems to be one way, or ways, right? How can you check this? Just reverse it. Right? There are many, it seems like that. It is for what? Singular, right? Or they seem to be hungry. They, which it is over here, ways is they, right? Needs a plural verb, right? So it should be what? Although there seem, just M, to be countless ways to approach the physics quandary, one technique will bring about the needed outcome. So the error is A, another inverted question, except this is with a dependent clause, right? Dependent clause, independent clause structure. Okay. All right. So in this one, it's the question that we just had, except I switched the order around. And again, this is from the clauses, independent, dependent clauses, which actually, is the foundation of sentence structures, right? So once you learn subject and verb and all the other parts of the sentences, learn sentence structures, right? And it's gonna, it's going to give you a lot of power to build many different types of sentences if you're confused on how to do it. So this question is the same question as what we just had. It says only one technique. So one is only is modifying this word one, right? Technique will bring about the needed outcome. Okay. Although there seems, again, it's the same thing. Seems to be countless ways, right? This doesn't match. So remember, it has to be seem. To approach the ways to approach the physics quandary. So you can turn back the video just a little bit and then see that all I did was change this part over here, although and only, right? Although this part used to be here and then only used to be here, right? So this is, in this case, the sentence structure is independent clause, okay, comma, dependent clause. Right? So check out the other videos.